I'm sorry. I was thinking about half-naked women. Welcome to Stupid Movies, where we watch them so you don't have to.
Yeah, and today we're watching Scream Test. Just got this from Horror Pack as the exclusive in the July pack. And this was directed by Bob Cook, starring Felissa Rose, Dave Sheridan. 2020, not rated, 83 minutes long.
Yes, those are all the stats of the movie.
Bam, right there.
Hell yes.
So we go to an island because we're an actress that needs a break because our voice is going out. And we need to go rest and relax. And people start dying. And no, it's not Club Dread. What happened on this island?
Ooh, I'd watch Club Dread again. So Scream Test, it's about Felissa Rose, who is a star of a bunch of really bad B-grade movies as a scream queen. And she loses her voice. And her doctor basically says, yeah, you fucked your voice up. You need to go basically relax and recover for a week or two, get your voice back, or you could permanently lose it and never be able to scream again. And they're like, okay. So she takes her agent, and they go to this super secluded island where she can just kind of relax for a bit. And there's a bunch of creepers and weird-ass people there. And Dave Sheridan, who I guess fits in with both of those. And people start getting murdered in ways related to movies that she had been in.
All right. Well, we like Felissa Rose.
Yes, we do.
Dave Sheridan.
Yes, we do.
What do we like about it? I love whodunits. And so just the fact that this was a whodunit, it was fun. And it's very low budget and indie, but I thought it was shot really well. I thought it looked really good. It had some great cinematography and aerial shots of the island when they're on the boat going there. And
I got to say, I wouldn't put in my mind that this is an indie movie.
Right.
I mean, I know that it technically is, but it does not look or sound or feel like an indie movie.
Yeah, production value is very good on this. Yeah. Technically speaking, across the board, it's done really well.
This is what I would put on the higher end of indie.
Obviously, we like Felissa Rose and Dave Sheridan. The manager character cracked me up. He was funny. Just his reactions and stuff, which I would say, this movie was pretty funny. It was definitely comedy horror.
This was comedy horror. It is more on the funny side than on the horror side. It's more murder mystery.
Right. Yeah, right. Exactly.
With less focus on the murder part.
I thought the comedy was effective. I laughed out loud several times. The acting for what it is pretty decent. I mean, they do what they do with what they have to work with, and I thought it was fine enough.
Yeah, I like the location, and maybe it's just because it's been 100 and some degrees here lately, and I'm thinking tropical weather right now. But I really wanted to go just hang out there poolside.
It gives you that kind of secluded. You're in this area and you can't get away. There's nobody coming to help you right away. So, and I thought they did a good job with that atmosphere and that vibe.
I even felt that for the most part, they did a good job explaining why there was no outside contact. Because it's on a secluded island. There's no cell coverage there. There's one boat that comes there once a week. They did a really good job explaining why there is no outside help coming. A lot of times people just kind of gloss over that in movies. I thought they did a really good job. Or it was oh no, my phone's dead. How about yours? Oh, mine's dead too. There was none of that bullshit here. They just were really straight and to the point. Look, we're in the middle of nowhere.
Yep.
Help is not going to come. I even like that the doctor pointed it out. He's like, well, it's never been a problem before now. But now I'm kind of thinking we need to figure out a backup plan.
Yeah, I like that they addressed it with the thing, and I thought that worked. The story, it's nothing new, it's nothing original, it's pretty cliche and generic, but I still like that idea of, it's an actress, things are happening to what happens in their movies. I just think that's a fun concept, and I thought they did it. It worked out fine enough for what it is.
And I actually really liked the ending.
I thought they did a good job with a bunch of red herrings. They kind of make everybody seem...
Yeah, I didn't peg the killer.
No, me either. And, I mean, it's kind of...
In retrospect, I should have, because he's literally the only one they didn't make you think was the killer.
Yeah.
Like, at one point or another, they made you think every other person was the killer. And the one who was the killer was the only one they never made you think. But I really like what happened after that point. After they revealed a killer and how the rest of it plays out.
Me too.
I thought that was very intelligent. And a great use of Felissa Rose at that point.
Yep, I agree. Absolutely. Yeah. We don't like
sand. What else don't we like?
My biggest thing with this, the pacing was a little too slow for me.
Yeah.
It's not excruciating slow to where I got bored, because I never really did get bored. but it is kind of paced slowly, and the fact that everything's off screen for the most part, and there's not much for blood and gore, that kind of doesn't help the pacing, right?
Yeah, it really drags it down.
It does drag a little bit, but I don't know. There was enough to keep me invested and interested, but it was kind of slow.
It had moments it could have picked up a little bit.
Yeah.
My biggest complaint, and this is a me thing, not everyone's going to feel this way. You had Felissa Rose, who is undeniably a gem of our industry.
Oh, yeah.
Without question. You had Dave Sheridan, who is hilarious. He is a brilliant actor. And I felt like both of them were underutilized.
I would agree with that.
I mean, you have Felissa Rose, and the first thing you do is you take her voice away. And the majority of the movie, she doesn't get to talk. And Dave Sheridan is hilarious. He is, without a doubt, hilarious. And I felt like they didn't give him any comedy to work with. He had to play one of the straight characters most of the time. I just feel like you have these actors and you're not giving them things to their strengths. And it's like, yeah, Felissa Rose can act really well with just her face and her body language and everything. But let her use her voice, because that's where her power is. And it's like, yeah, Dave Sheridan can do serious roles. We've seen him do that. But he's a comedy actor. Let him be funny.
Yeah, and I kind of mentioned a little bit ago, most of it's off screen. Yeah. It's very light on the horror, which, I think a little bit more horror. I was expecting this to be
Club Dread.
Well, that's got great gore. So,
yeah. I was expecting it to be more like Club Dread. I mean, maybe not plot-wise necessarily or anything, but I was expecting it to be more on par with Club Dread, with the comedy and the horror.
Yeah, more of an equal mix. This is much more comedy. So I went in expecting full-on slasher, like brutal slasher. I was expecting. I don't know why. That's just what I thought.
Yeah.
So that's what I was hoping for, maybe. And we didn't really get much for blood or gore. There's some stabbings and
I think part of it's the cover art.
Yeah.
You see that and you think this is going to be a slasher.
Yeah.
And it really isn't.
So that was disappointing.
I would have liked to have seen this movie, but better.
That seems to be a very common thing you say. So when I first heard about Scream Test, I didn't know much about it. But I was like, oh, that's a fun title. It has Felissa Rose, David Sheridan, so I was excited for it. And then I just happened to get it in a horror pack, which is great. Not really what I hoped for, but I still had fun with it. I can't say that I didn't, because I did. There's several times I laughed. I thought it was a fun concept, great setting. Some of the characters were pretty fun. I thought they executed it fine enough. But I had fun with it. I love Felissa Rose. I love Dave Sheridan. Could have sped up a little bit, and more violence, more power to it would have been good, but I'd say it's above average for a low-budget indie flick that looked really good. So I'm going to go 5 out of 8 on this one.
I went into it expecting to have fun, and I had some fun. I laughed. It's not a horror movie. It really isn't. It's a murder mystery about a horror actress. The parts that I really wanted to see more of were her and Dave Sheridan, and they just were underutilized. So I'm going to go a little above. I'm going to go 5.5 out of 8.
Have you seen?
Wow.
Yeah. Have you seen Scream Test? Let us know. In those things you can type
comments.
in. Yeah, comments. Yeah, like, subscribe, do all that crap that every other person on this YouTube thing does. So just do that for us too. Just do it. Listen to them and then just come over here and do that.
Every time you hear someone else's YouTube video say to like and subscribe, come back to us and do it.
If you have Horror Pack, let us know. Are you subscribed? I'm curious, because Horror Pack's awesome. Support them! If you like what we're doing, tell your friends! If you want more of us, head over to Facebook.com/StoopidMovies, Instagram @StoopidMovies. You can also email us at StoopidMovies@Outlook.com.
Before we go, email Rob pictures of Felissa Rose's dick.
There's so many facets of indie, but it's definitely on the higher end of that for sure.
Faucets?
Facets?
Facets.
You know what I meant.
Faucets are like the thing in the bathroom.
Right, but when you turn it on, who knows what you're going to get sometimes.
Good point. Faucets works in this instance.
Thank you.
There are so many faucets to low budget.
Facets, whatever you want to call it.